What's up, guys? I'm Jonathan, and this is my home. And today I'm gonna give you a tour. This is my 2010 Toyota Prius. It's been my home for the last 10 months as I traveled around the USA and Mexico on a giant rock climbing road trip. Please subscribe if you want to see future adventures. Now that we're down in a nice quiet place like Red Canyon, we're gonna give you the tour of my home. You can immediately see the bedroom. This is the 𝗟𝗏 XL Mondo King. It is really comfortable. It is the perfect length. It literally could not be any better, and it's so gosh darn comfy. If you're gonna live in your car, you may as well be comfortable. It costs a couple bucks, sure, but I don't pay rent. For this setup, I just use a sleeping bag because I don't want to deal with sheets or blankets or anything. And so I just stuff it over here out of the way most mornings. And I have 2 pillows because why ration comfort? You don't exactly want to advertise the fact that you're living in your car, especially because in some places it's kind of illegal. So better off nobody knows. You really can't see through these windows. And that's because I've got some Reflectix panels in here that I cut to size. And then I just stapled some black felt onto the opposite side. And if I don't want to use them, if I want to drive around, I can very easily stuff them under there, no problem. And then if it's a really hot day, I can take this side and I can stick it in the opposite window with the Reflectix side out so that it keeps the inside of the car cooler. I did the same for the back windows here, as well as the trunk. So what I did for the privacy in the front is I've got a dowel rod from this handhold to that handhold. And I've got this curtain just tucked away up here. And for nighttime, I just unfold it. Left a little extra on the sides. I've got some Velcro strips on the side so you can just take the curtain, bam, it's out of the way, it's totally blacked out. And I've got 2 curtains like this. It's really easy to take down. You just grab it, roll it, tuck it away right there. And that's the curtains. Right here is my climbing gear. This is definitely the bulkiest items that I have, and they take up a lot of space. I could add a roof rack, but you would lose out a lot on fuel economy by doing that. And I don't really need much more space since I'm not trying to bring skis and ice climbing gear, any of that stuff. It's really just a climbing road trip. So this is all I need. And over on this side, we've got the closet. I tried for a while to make things work in stuff sacks, but it's harder to get to them and they get all wrinkled. So a closet has really been nice. I got a dowel rod from Home Depot, cut it to the right length, and it sits on a little nook inside these handholds here. So this is great because I can hang everything from towels to long sleeves to coats to t-shirts to pants, all right here, easily accessible. And if I want to make this space usable for another person to sit, all I have to do is slide everything over, and then I take this cooler out and I put it up on the bed, and then this becomes a very nice spot for a passenger to sit. And over here we have the pantry. All I gotta do to access the food storage under here is slide this over. I love this feature. This is probably the feature I am most proud of. Just take the seat, wha-bam, flip it up like that, slide this over, ba-bam, ba-bam. I've got access to all of my bins, and it takes about 5 seconds. Makes meals much easier. Grab everything you need, then boom, close that, boom, over, down, boom. And here we have the cockpit. This is also the mudroom. So this is usually where I go in and out through the car because I can just kick my shoes off and leave them right here so nothing gets too dirty. I've got some toiletries in here, but most of them I just access right here, all the basic stuff that I need. Under here, got some books. In here, we've got the charging station. I can charge my phone. I've got my GoPro battery storage right here. Over on this seat is just some sort of miscellaneous storage. Keep some water bottles here. This is the bathroom. And one of my favorite things about my living situation, this, my friends, is a shiatsu massager. So a lot of people say, oh, it must be really rough living in your car. But I say, well, do you have a shiatsu massager in your home? If you do not, then one could argue I may be living a slightly more luxurious life. A few other fun things about my cockpit here is I keep my drumsticks right here because on the road, I don't have a drum set. I can keep the skills and rudiments going. And it's a better alternative to texting and driving, though it does require both hands, but let's just not talk about that. A critical part of my Toyota is the fact that I actually have a toy Yoda inside my Toyota. So aptly, I decided to name this vehicle Yoda. All right, and lastly, we have the basement. The basement is a little sneaky. So this is sort of deep storage stuff that I don't need too often. A lot of extra toiletries stuff, a lot of USB drives, some GoPro stuff, some microphones, some lighters. I obviously never use this. A little bit of just odds and ends, knickknacks. I've got like a hangboard in here. I've got a hammock back here. I've got one of my sleeping pads back here all folded up. Got my hiking boots back here, which Doug makes me wear at work, which I absolutely despise doing, but I do it for you, Doug. Now we do have deep storage, which is actually under here, but it's a pain to get in there. So I don't even like remember what's in there, but I know there's some stuff and it's just gonna remain a mystery. So why a Prius? If you can afford a big van that you can stand up in and cook in, that's awesome, and I hope to go that route someday. But the reason I went with this setup is simply because of how cost efficient it is. I was able to go about 9 months without working a job, and I didn't even have that much saved. It's just such low cost of living to live out of a Prius. Gas costs almost nothing. You get about 50, sometimes 55 miles per gallon. Plus, there's some interesting benefits to living in a hybrid. You can leave the car running and you can charge your devices, you can run the AC, you can run music, you can run heat, and the engine doesn't actually have to run, so you're not burning fuel throughout all of this. The Prius has a giant hybrid battery underneath the back seat, and that is what powers all these actions, but when the hybrid battery runs out, the car will automatically cycle the engine on to recharge the battery. It only comes on for about a minute or two, then it shuts off, and you've got about another hour of use out of your battery before you need to burn through fuel again. That is all for today, guys. Thanks for watching this episode of MTV Cribs. I really enjoyed making it. I hope you learned something from this. I cannot iterate enough how much I have enjoyed living out of my car for the last year. It has been worth it 100%. I have no regrets. Go ahead and drop a comment if you have any questions, and hit that subscribe button so you can see future content. And as always, thanks for watching.